Hello students, good morning to all. I hope you all are keeping well. Nowadays you must be busy with your outcome revision classes of various subjects, and I hope you are taking benefits from them and you are also attending the classes after being well prepared and able to answer the questions asked by your teachers. When we will have our English doubt class, I hope you will be able to answer all the questions which will be asked by your teacher. The teacher might not be Mahua ma'am. There will be some other teachers also who will take your this doubt class of English, who is teaching as per the schedule, the timetable, who were supposed to teach you this session. They might be taking your doubt classes. So before attending those classes, if you are feeling any trouble regarding any chapter, you kindly keep your queries. In our previous class, dear students, we have started the topic verbs, and I have explained about verbs and various forms of verbs in that class, and I have also told that in verbs have many categories. There are many forms. In different ways verbs are used in the sentences of English, and verbs are the topic or the grammatical term on which most of the English sentences or grammatical words are depending. If you know verbs very well, then you will be having less trouble in creating sentences of your own without making grammatical mistake. So in our previous class we have done a few things about verbs, and today we will go ahead with one more. In our previous class we have learnt about regular irregular classes, the verbs, regular verbs and irregular verbs, and some troublesome verbs also. Today we will learn about auxiliary verbs, and we will know about the forms of auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are also known as helping verbs. You might have written the sentences of English or seen or read the sentences like that. Ram is going to school. Here, if we will remove is from the sentence will be Ram going to school. The sentence will lose its meaning. But if we put Ram is going to school, then the sentence will have full sense. So auxiliary verbs or the helping verbs are very much required, very important, and their position is also important like main verbs in a sentence. So sometimes we use it as helping verbs, we call them helping verbs, but they are as important as the main verbs in a sentence. Dear children, there are two kinds of auxiliary verbs, primary auxiliary and secondary auxiliary. See, as I have written here, under the category of primary auxiliary, there are three things, that is be, do and have. These three are there, and we will know their forms also in today's class. So today's class we will know about primary auxiliary verbs only, so that you may know how to differentiate between primary auxiliary and secondary auxiliary. So these three words are there, verbs are there, rather you can say be, do and have, and we will know their uses and their different forms. Before that, I must tell you about secondary auxiliary verbs also. You might have done modals or modals in your English grammar classes. So secondary auxiliary are modals, and the examples of these modals are can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, need, dare, must, used to and ought to. So these words are also very important in English grammar, in the sentences, while reading, while speaking and writing as well, and they keep a very important part or a position, you can say, or they play a very important role in learning English grammar. So dear students, look at your book on page number this is 22, on page number 22, and you will see the primary auxiliary verbs, that is be, do and have. Be, do and have are often called helping verbs because they support the main verbs in a sentence. Be, do and have are used in different forms as shown in the table. I hope you have book. Kindly see on 22 page number. As I told, that be, do and have are helping verbs because they are supportive verbs. Without their support, in certain cases the verbs will lose its existence. Here, in the last class also I have told that sometimes whenever be is there in a bracket and you have to use the correct form of be, people used to write become, became, becoming. It is not always correct. If it is given become, then only you will write become, became and becoming. Here the forms of be, it is a very important thing dear students, very very important, so you please pay attention. The forms of be are is, am, are, was, were. So what is the use of the helping verb be? Here it is given. It is used in forming continuous tenses. Like whenever we are forming or writing or framing a sentence using continuous tense, we are always using these helping verbs. Whenever we are saying that my mother is cooking food. So my mother is cooking food is in present continuous tense. Similarly, the children were playing football. It is again continuous tense, that is past continuous tense. So the first point is so dear students, whenever you see these kind of sentences like the friends were to meet in the park or you are to appear for the interview on Monday, don't think that these sentences are wrong. We sometimes write the sentences like that by using the forms of be. Instead of have, here were and are used. The next point is used in the past tense with the infinitive to indicate an arrangement made but not carried out. The example is given. They were to go for a picnic but the heavy rain spoilt their plans. So as per the rule, as it said, that the sentence which is used in past tense and infinitive sense are there, like the plan was there but it has not been done, and arrangement was made for something but due to some reasons it could not work. So there also they were to go. Here we have used are, were, was before to. So you have to take care of this sentences and you have to work on that. Then again, the another form of primary auxiliary is have. Here the have may have three more forms, like three different forms: have, has and had. So it is in present tense and past tense also. So the uses, rules to use have, and the forms of have are used in forming perfect tenses. When we were doing tenses, we have learnt that whenever we are framing a sentence with perfect tenses, then we are using has, have or had, has, have or had, and then the third form of verb. So here the sentence says the students have answered the test. Here the sentence is in perfect tense, present perfect tense. So have is used because students, the word students is plural, and so it's used have, and answered is the third form of verb. Similarly, others and examples are also there. The cat has drunk all the milk. Here the cat is singular, so has is used, and drunk is the third form of drink. So has is used and the third form of verb is used, so it is in perfect tense. She had written the essay before her parents arrived. She is the singular subject, and then had is used, that is a past tense, and this had is used with any kind of subject. Had is common in past perfect tense. So had is used, and written is the third form of verb. So she had written the essay before her parents arrived. All these sentences says that the work has been finished. So it is in perfect tense. Another point is used with the infinitive to show obligation. Infinitive, we will learn about infinitives when we will know about finite and infinite verbs. So infinitives are infinitive to when a base verb is used with to, like Rohit has to take care of his aunt. Here the word infinitive to is there, and the verb take is in base form, and has is used as the form of the auxiliary verb have. So it is written Rohit has to take care of his aunt. Has is used with Rohit because Rohit is the singular subject, so that's why it is used has, and has to take care of his aunt. So it is in present tense, or you can say future also, the same work will be done. The third form or third kind of auxiliary, primary auxiliary, is do. So do also has three forms: do, does, did. As we had with have, has, had. Here with do we have do, does, did. So the first point, the first use of the form of do is used to form the negative and interrogative of simple present and the simple past tenses. The examples are Virat doesn't understand the situation. It is in simple present tense that Virat is not able to understand the situation. Did you hear the latest news? That means it is in past tense. That means it means to say that whether the latest news is heard by you or not. Okay. So here do and did both are used. The another point is to avoid repetition of a verb. So the verb should not be repeated. So in order to avoid that, do is used. Do, does or did. Does Vinita know French? Okay. Does Vinita know French? So here does is used as the primary auxiliary verb, and then know is used as the base verb. And then yes, she does. Here we have used does, and we have finished the sentence with does only in order to avoid the whole sentence or the verb know. Like we could have said yes, she knows French. It is not required to write again the full sentence because that sentence is already written. So we can simply answer with yes, she does. So here the verb know did not repeat. We did not repeat the verb know again in the second sentence. Third point is used to emphasize the affirmative aspect of a statement. The example is do attend to this work soon. So used to emphasize the affirmative aspect of the statement means here it is used to say that a person could directly without using the subject's name, you can directly say a sentence like that: do attend this meeting, this work soon, instead of calling the person to whom you are talking with his name or the particular person to whom you are talking. Okay. And then the second sentence, Harsh does seem annoyed. So Harsh seems annoyed also you can write, or Harsh does seem annoyed. If you are using does, you will not put s with seem. So since you have already used does, so Harsh does seem annoyed. The last point of the form do is used to make an invitation or a request more persuasive. Okay. To when we invite somebody or we request somebody, to make it more important or special, we are using this. Do come to the party this evening means we are pressurizing the person to come to the party. Like instead of saying please, we are saying do come to the party, do come to school, do attend the meeting. So when we use do this way, it seems that we are giving stress to that person to do that particular work. So dear students, we have done auxiliary verbs today. Auxiliary verbs, sometimes students don't give much importance, but auxiliary verbs are very very important in English grammar. Since we don't use them in our sentences and we don't give them importance, sometimes we speak wrong English and we write wrong English. So whenever we know a language very well, or when we want to learn the language by its fullest, we should know the language by its roots. Like there are many good books of grammar. If you want to know English from its depth, then you can consult those books, because you also know it very very well that if a person speaks good English or if a person writes good English, they are always been respected and people like them a lot, and they are always been the attraction of the crowd. I have told you earlier also these things. So dear students, although we live in country like India where Hindi is our mother tongue, but we cannot deny the importance of the language English in our life, whether it is schools. That's why you are studying in an English medium school, so that you can learn English well. And because government schools are also there, Hindi medium schools are also there, but you are studying an English medium school. And whether it is job or any other important place, if you want to travel abroad out of our country, English is the only linking language which will help you there to survive. Even some of the states of India, English is necessary, because especially southern states where people, very rare people understand Hindi. So if you know English, if you don't know their language but if you know English, that can help you a lot to talk to the people and stay there. Okay students, I hope whatever I said, whatever I taught today, you have understood. So I'm going to wind up here. I'll send your homework through your PDF. So I hope you will be able to do your homework, and if you want you can write these notes in your copy, because when the things are there in our copy, we are taking it very seriously and we are learning also. That we are noticing in our doubt classes also, that the notes which are there in your copy, you are coming prepared by learning them, and take the classes very seriously. So I'll wind up here with auxiliary verbs, and I'll take another important topic or form of verb in our next class. Before that, I'll tell you the homework for today's. On page number, I hope you can see, on page number 23 in your book, there is an exercise given, that is exercise D. Fill in the blanks with is, was, are, were, has, have, do, does. These are all things which we have just now done as our auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. That is the various forms of be, do and have we have just now done, and we had some notes also in our book, and I hope you will be able to do it. The exercise is very very easy. 8 questions are there. You will do all these 8 questions in your grammar copy. That's all for today, children. Have a nice day. Thank you.